everybody. My name is Alex, and I am the creator of Flashback RPG, which is an indie RPG that is on Kickstarter right now. It would be amazing if you could go and check out our website at www.flashbackrpg.com. We are running our Kickstarter right now. Share it if you can. We'd love your support to support local game designers like us. I'm here today with Walter, Naomi, Charlotte, and Mitch.
Yay.
And we're going to run a demo game for you of Flashback, just to give you a quick idea of how it runs and what's so interesting about it. Probably the main feature of Flashback is the Flashback mechanic, where you build your character as you go. So rather than pre-building a bunch of backstory and everything, during a roll, during a skill test or a combat roll, anytime you can do some role playing and actually have a moment to say, this is how my character in their past, a part of their backstory, came to gain that knowledge or that ability or something like that. And then other players at the table all can contribute to that, so that in the end you have a very kind of interwoven backstories for all of your characters that work together with the world, they work together with each other, and you've got a very interesting role-playing opportunity. So we've all quickly made characters, but character creation is very simple. Like I said, all you need is name, and you choose your personality attributes, which is a little bit of an interesting thing as well. Personality attributes are things like you're disciplined or reckless, and that determines your strength. So you might be strong because you train hard, you meditate, you're very self-focused and have a high amount of discipline. On the other hand, your strength might come from your wild, reckless nature, where you push yourself too far. If you push yourself far, you take risks, and that allows you to draw from a whole bunch of inner strength that you might have from your personality. So I might just quickly get everyone to introduce your character, just your name, and maybe tell me a little bit about your personality. Walter?
I named my character because I heard Mitch say something, so I actually did name it Christ.
Nice.
And I don't know, so I think, he or she or whoever is dynamic and curious and reckless and faithful, and has an enlightened ability. So
Perfect. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
From your faith. So the enlighten is it? So we have spells. Spells all come on cards. The idea here is that, again, we take a lot of complexity out of the building of the character process. All spells, items, and weapons and things all come from cards, and cards allow you to have a lot of the complexity of creating your character just taken as part of an ability that you can use as you progress through the game. So enlighten being a sort of a spiritual ability, maybe that comes from your faithful nature, from your devotion to yourself or your God, however you...
Devotion to yourself.
I believe in myself.
Naomi?
I chose the name Kick-Ass. I
Nice.
don't know why. And from that, I then sort of picked my things, and I made myself quite reckless and dynamic. So I'm assuming that I'm some sort of assassin.
Like the superhero, right? Kick-Ass the superhero.
Oh, yeah.
It's what's it called? Your name, like your...
Yeah.
Oh, like yeah.
alter ego name.
Yes.
All right, cool. Charlotte.
Well, I'm playing Daisy Duchamp. She's a missionary for the Church of Light. She is faithful, stubborn, and disciplined. That's the one. Yeah.
From your... Well, are you a missionary?
Yeah, I'm like a good old southern belle. Just here to spread the good word. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Gods?
Yeah.
I'm not
Do
sure.
you believe in me?
We'll
Yeah.
find
The
out.
Church of the Light is a totally different entity.
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's
true.
a religious organization in kind of a steampunk Victorian world, but it's not necessarily any kind of religious organization.
Yeah,
that you have,
totally.
so different gods.
Yeah, true.
Cool.
I'm playing as Sister Maud Mosley, the Mother Superior of the missionaries working with Daisy. I'm incredibly stubborn and judgmental of people, a pedant of sorts when it comes to the Order of the Light. So we'll see how things go.
So, I mean, immediately the whole idea of having your personality traits defined up front is that you have an idea about how to roleplay your character. So you've already got an idea about how you might react in certain situations, what you find important and what you find not important. And so you can use that immediately to give a little reminder that it's a role-playing game and we're here to, step into someone else's shoes and see how it goes. So. All right, so I briefly mentioned there's a canonical world for Flashback. Admittedly, the system would work in any kind of genre, but we have a steampunk fantasy world. It's it's on the edge of a technological revolution. So there are these events called starfalls where this mysterious metal falls from the sky. And it's incredibly valuable. So it's more powerful than coal. It's used in all sorts of technology and gadgets.
Like it's an energy source?
That's right, yeah. So, if we go into the details, the sort of alchemists of the time started experimenting with it and discovered that it kind of absorbs energy. It's a bit of a store of large amounts of energy, incredibly high density. So you could put a ton of coal in a steam train and fill it up and go from here to Raychester or from Cryer to Steamport or whatever. But you could take that same amount of energy in a little Nexus crystal, only about the size of your head, and be able to power the train for just as long. And of course, don't have to carry around a ton of coal. The same thing, if you put it into a weapon, your Nexus-powered weapon can discharge huge amounts of energy and really deal some damage. The army has the power of that. Really interested in putting it into cannons and onto their steamships so that they can go farther and faster. At the same time, there's a lot of people experimenting with it as a source of light, as a source of heat. Basically, if you can tune the crystals correctly, if you can carve them into the right shape, you can generate all sorts of incredibly advanced clockwork mechanisms. And I think that that's an interesting point, is that this new metal, Starfalls are maybe only a generation old. They started happening for no one knows why, and they've changed the entire empire. The aristocracy and the royals, obviously, they want to study it. They want to take control of it and use it to to establish their power even more. They can generate these huge steam-powered Goliaths that are giant walking machines. Use that to go out into the frontier, the sort of areas just outside of the empire, and to try and spread their influence. On the other hand, I mean, it falls from the sky, right? So anyone can find it. Treasure hunters always going after these starfalls. Whenever one happens, it attracts people immediately. You can profit from it. You can give it to a scientist or one of the guild members or something like that. They can craft some incredible technology for you, and so it's not just in the hands of the noble and aristocracy. They would love to keep control of it, but even then, more and more everyday people are actually out there using it to improve their own situations. So if you can get a hold of that, it's perfect. It's very valuable stuff. So I will launch into the backstory. Many great cities owe their prosperity to the river Alamand. From the trading post of Weaver's Pass, near the river's origin, to the House Wintermain vineyards in the Iron Point lowlands, the steady river is nature's gift to commerce and agriculture. Even Raychester, the commercial powerhouse of the empire, could not survive without the great river. House Blackspring has spared no expense diverting the course of the Alamand to bring steam power to every part of Raychester's industrial economy. Towns and villages further downstream, however, out near the frontier, are less fortunate. Far away from the pure glacial source of White Crystal Lake, the waters of the Alamand slow finally to a languid, muddy, tepid crawl through swamps, marshlands, and estuaries. Dolmire is one such place. A dark, wet, overgrown swamp near the tiny town of Barenthorn. It has been under imperial quarantine ever since the Spore Sickness spread through the area. But not even the threat of the deadly mind fungus was enough to deter would-be fortune seekers when a starfall struck right in the heart of Dolmire. Those that witnessed the spectacular event say it was one of the largest and brightest they had ever seen. And in just a few days, Barenthorn was filled with eager treasure hunters, such as yourselves.
Yay!
So to save on time, I will just go with you all know each other. You've decided that there's enough reason. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be after it for the value of the money. You might want to study the Nexus crystals. There's incredible secrets to be uncovered. It might be interesting from the point of view of a religious study. How does this affect your world outlook, etc. You also might be
needs
just
money.
curious. You might want to sell it. There's a whole bunch of reasons to be interested in getting some. However, everyone wants it. So
It's like a gold rush. Everyone's rushing out to get it.
that's a very good analogy. Yeah. Exactly. It's changing the way people operate. Like now, it used to be that you'd be a farmer and you'd farm the whole life. Suddenly, fame and fortune out there. You see a starfall. Why wouldn't you go and check it out?
Yeah.
So you've taken the steps that, even though this area is quarantined, so the Spore Sickness, you may not have encountered it, but it is blighted significant portions of the Empire. Again, only maybe a few generations ago, this fungal growth spread across the lands. It mutates animals, it destroys crops. If you are infected by it, you have a terrible kind of madness. It goes into your brain and dehydrates you, drives you crazy.
Speaking of dehydrating.
I know. I'm already losing my voice after running games all day. So you find yourself outside the entrance to Dolmire, or the swamp entrance. And the din of insects creates a wall of sound that envelops you as you enter the overgrown canopy. This is definitely the right place. Every other tree is marked with a toxic yellow X, indicating that the Marquis has ordered this area quarantined. One of the more sturdy-looking trunks even has a warning sign nailed to it. Do not enter. This area is off-limits by order of the Marquis. This area is quarantined with Spore Sickness. You may not enter.
Should definitely enter.
I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing.
However, the nearby flora shows no signs of affliction. The dense foliage of the swamp looks healthy and almost unnaturally thick. Dense tufts of moss cover the muddy ground as strong vines hang down from the branches above. The Botanist Guild has been known to exaggerate these sorts of things. So, I mean, it's sometimes a precaution, right? Like, you quarantine an area because
Much larger than what the
That's right.
actual
Because,
yeah.
if this spreads across the Empire, it would be very disastrous. Ahead of you, there is a deep stream that cuts directly across the path. It appears to have eroded quite a wide gap in the muddy ground. A good running jump might be able to clear it, or it might be possible to use the thick overhead vines to climb across. A short distance away, you spot a fallen tree that crosses the gap. It looks thin and slippery, but strong. Someone with good balance could probably cross there.
Oh.
So, Walter, your choice about how you would like to try and cross the gap. So, briefly explain how dice rolls work. So there's a difficulty, which I'll tell you before you roll. And then, like I said, if the skill is so for example, if you were to climb, that would be a fortitude roll. So you can roll up to 3 dice from your fortitude roll from your stamina to see how you progress. Or you might want to balance. And the other thing I'll point out now is, before you do a dice roll is a time to do a flashback. So you can, at any point in the game, say, this is why my character has this skill. Maybe you climbed because you were in the Navy and you climbed up and down ropes all day or something like that. Or maybe you were in the military and they drilled you to, to run far or to fire a weapon, to shoot a rifle, anything like that. That's how you might have... So that's your backstory that you build as you go. So.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Cool.
I think because fortitude's my highest, I'll go with climbing.
Okay. So the difficulty to climb over the vines is 6. So that means that to get a major success, you need to roll higher than a 6 on your d10s.
Okay. So I'm a beginner to this. So what? What's my d10? This one.
Sorry, those are d10-sided dice. Yeah,
all of these are the same dice.
These are all the same. Yeah.
Oh,
so
sorry.
your stamina is 7, so you should have about 7. That's probably good. I mean, I like to play with a fistful of dice. It's kind of fun. So you've got 7 there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, cool. So when you roll a miss, though, which is a 1 or a double on those dice, then you lose 1 stamina. So you're effectively depleting your energy as you go until you have time to rest. So it's a bit of a trade-off. You roll 3 dice, you might lose 3 dice. However, if you only roll 1 dice, you might not succeed and have to try again. So up to you.
Oh, I get what you mean.
But yeah, go for it. So you're going to climb, put your effort into it. Go for it.
Yeah. So I should do. Anyway, I'll learn as I go.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good roll. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So what did I say? Difficulty was 6. So a 9 and a 10, great. And a 3 is less good, but it's still a minor success. So the 9 and the 10, you add your major values. So that's 1 major success, 2 major success, and 1 minor success. So your major success value is 6, so you add 6 plus 6 is 12.
Okay,
So
cool.
the result is 12. You only needed a 10 to get through there, so yeah. So you, Walter climbs up the vines overhead, finds them strong and sturdy, and is able to kind of Tarzan swing across the gap, land safely on the other side, bows at the other end, and flourishes at the end.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, Naomi.
So I'll probably jump
Mhm.
because that's my strength. Strength is my strength. And I am
Nice.
pretty reckless, and I like to get places fast and not bother with taking up time.
So is jumping something in your backstory that you've done in the past, or is it just the use
It's
of that
efficient.
backstory?
I like to be efficient. I like to, if I lose, I like to lose hard, basically. And if I
Why
like
take
to win,
many
I
steps
like
when
to
you can
finish.
take one step? One really
Exactly.
big step.
Climbing is like, that'll take too long, and then, like,
Just get it done.
sludging through. Just
done.
get it done. I want to be the first one there
All right,
as well.
so the difficulty to jump across is 4, so
Okay.
you need to get 4 or above 4 on your dice,
Okay.
basically.
And I choose how many I roll?
Yeah, so you can choose up to 3. So
Up to
straight
three,
for 3, so you can roll 1, 2, or 3 dice. Oh, not good. So, so remember, double dice is a miss.
That's
So
right.
both of those dice count as miss. So the 4, a 4, and a 5.
Yeah.
So the 4 is, so you add your miss value twice. So -2, -2.
Oh, isn't it this?
Oh, sorry, -3,
Yeah,
-3.
-3.
Yes. Thank you for correcting me. Yes,
That's
it's
alright. I lose even harder.
So, -6, and you rolled a 1 major success, so 0.
Great.
Okay, so you
Fail.
take a run up
Reckless.
to the edge of the gap, and just as you're about to go, you've got a good amount of momentum. Your foot catches in a root underneath it, and you start to you start to roll over and fall straight down.
Great.
However, one of you can help her. So anyone who's next to her, near her, or something like that, you can explain using your personality traits how it is that you are. Did you react to it? Were you watching? Were you alert? Were you so if you were, for example, very vigilant, you're on the lookout. You knew that something was going to happen. You spotted it before it happened.
I'm gonna say to her, what did you say about climbing taking too long?
So you guys could maybe catch her before she falls down the gap.
I'll try and catch her. I'm
Yeah.
a helpful person. I like to look out for the
Okay.
reckless. Yeah.
So which your stat are you using to?
Can I use like my fortitude?
Well, yeah.
as
So
like
if you're
a
stubborn,
I'm just like, you fucking idiot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Alright,
like
so
try
you-
and like pull her back.
From a stubborn nature, you know that this is the kind of thing that people often fail at, and sometimes that overconfidence is just not well placed.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 points in your stubborn
Yep.
personality attribute,
Yep.
so you can roll 2d10 to try and help her.
Why do you have so many dice?
I don't. These are
One of those might be mine for
Yeah.
the end dice. Yeah, thank you.
I've got that many
Oh,
points.
good. Okay. The difficulty is the same. So jump is 4. So you get 1 major success to add, but you add your value, so +4.
So that one.
Yep.
So 13. To my
No,
correct?
no,
9
don't
plus-
add to the dice. As
Oh,
in,
right.
You just add 4 to her
Right,
result.
right,
So
sweet.
your result was 0, I think. in
It
total.
was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So with +4, all right. So you managed to grab her by the end and pull her back up to the end.
Yeah.
At least she doesn't land in the mud below.
Gotcha.
Should we do this again?
All right. Show her how it's done.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm like, let me show you how we do this.
Guys.
And I take a very measured kind of few steps back, and I run up,
You're gonna try
and I'm
and
going to
jump
try
too?
and jump.
So is that
also.
something in your past you would have experience with, or are you just going with it because you got the stats?
I guess I'm kind of, we've been traveling a lot, so we're used to traversing kind of weird environments. And I'm like the young spry one. She's the older one, so I have to do all the hard work.
Oh, right. So you're relatively
You know?
athletic from all of this.
Yeah,
you can carry
exactly.
The backpack and
Yeah.
pulling all of
I'm
the stuff
carrying
around.
all of the gear.
What's your name, Sister
Maud.
Maud?
Yeah.
That's right. Sister
All right.
Maud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll
it-
probably end up carrying her across.
Well, would you like to? That would be convenient for me, in fact.
Whilst you jump.
So I mean, this is your flashback. So tell me the story. You're traveling together. What's going on?
Well, she's like the Sister Maud, Mother Maud. What is it? What's the like?
Yeah,
sister?
yeah, Mother Superior.
She's the Mother
Sister Maud,
Superior of
yeah.
our order. I joined the order because I like was orphaned. I mean, I'm making this up on the spot, but I guess that's the point.
Yeah, no,
it's about improvising. Yeah.
And we are traveling together as missionaries looking to spread the good word. But I get in trouble a lot because I'm
So is this like a punishment
kind
or
of.
something? Or is
Well,
it
she has
well-
to like. She's like my chaperone.
That's right,
unfortunately.
yeah. Constantly picking her up and putting her back on the right path.
Yeah.
So sorry, so you're from the Church of the Light.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Church of the Light.
It's a great place, a holy place, one that all people should make their way to.
Yeah.
And it is our duty to spread the word across the empire
Yeah.
and make sure that the light is upheld everywhere. And in our path, more shall join.
Yeah. And the staff will gotta make sure. It goes
Yes,
to the
well,
right
it goes to the
place.
right place,
It's a
to the
relic.
right people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a holy relic for the church and only the church.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so cool. So you're athletic from your flashback, so you can add 1 point to your jump skill. That's what you're using, jump. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's just mark on the sheet
here.
there. Cool. And now, instead of rolling a d10, you may roll a d12.
Yay.
So you can actually roll 1d10 and 1d12
Okay.
if you want. So to jump. Yep.
More
just to
dice.
say, the
Yeah,
more
that's
the
the
better,
way.
right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well,
That's a
What is
two.
that?
jump with difficulty was 4. So
Oh, okay, sweet. So there's +1. So I got 5, right?
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
4
so
major plus?
it's not +1.
Oh,
It's you've got
that's
to roll a
just plus the
d12.
dice, right.
So 4 and a 0. So
Okay.
4. Okay, yeah. So you also make it. That's
Yeah,
right. You only needed the
sweet.
4 to cross it. So you take a running jump. Yeah, your legs are strong from days and days of carrying heavy
Carrying all her
backpacks
shit.
across the. I know, and pulling her along.
Discipline rewards those who follow the path.
The path of the
That's
light.
right.
I just stick
That's
my
right.
tongue out at her from across the room.
Cheeky.
Don't get you fucking feet
Cheeky
wet.
Daisy, wait
Anyway,
till I get over there.
and you land lively on the other side to join Walter.
Nice.
Naomi's still on the wrong side. On the
Yeah.
Yes.
But you narrow.
Do you want to try again and I'll try and
Yeah.
pick you up when you inevitably fall? Or...
Okay, Mother Superior, how are you going to get across? That's the important question.
I've seen that the climbing has so far been quite effective, so I'm going to pursue the same method. With my, when I was a young lass, I was part of a militant order, and we spent many times on the monkey bars. So I'm sure
Part of your training.
part of my militant training for the order. But I'm sure these old bones won't fail me now. So I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay. Was that a flashback, or were you just telling me about?
Just
your...
telling me,
Okay,
just
that's
giving
fine.
you your bits. Not great. A 6, a 4, and a 1.
Okay. Well, the difficulty. Okay, was a 4.
Mhm.
So you are. You
You
get.
missed, right?
I get 12. My major
But the
is
1
6.
is a miss. So remember, the 1 is a
Oh,
miss.
it's a -3.
Yeah, minus
right.
3. And don't
So
forget to deduct 1 stamina for your miss as well. So
God.
you have exhausted yourself. However, the good thing about climbing is that there's very little risk of falling. So as long as you've got a positive result, you're still up there.
yeah.
You managed to make it a bit way up the tree, and you're dangling now from the vines overhead.
Mm.
You haven't crossed over yet, but at least you haven't fallen down.
Oh,
so-
these old bones.
I can do it. Hold your horses.
Grab me, Daisy.
Cool. Okay, who's left? You can do something if you'd like, but otherwise you're waiting for everyone else to manage to
Yeah.
get across.
You're just waiting for me.
Give you a hand.
All right, you want to try again, Naomi?
Yeah, but now I've got, old lady hanging up in a tree, so I feel like I should probably help her out.
I'm okay. Slow and steady wins the race.
So if I try to climb as well, can I give her a hand across?
Well, once you're both up there, if one of you
Just a little
falls,
push.
you can grab her. Like I was saying, like your
Ah,
nature
yeah.
might think that actually, hang on a minute, I'm cautious. I don't think this is a safe idea. I don't know if you're cautious or
I'm definitely not.
you're not cautious, but were you
Yes.
or something along those lines? If you're skeptical nature, you might be skeptical in her abilities to.
Yeah.
So you would think,
And then
well,
there's a
this
little
is
bit
wrong.
of like
yeah.
forthright that
So
I feel like I shouldn't leave an
At
old
least up in the
lady
canopy,
hanging up
one
there.
of you can catch the other one. Should you
Don't
lose your
leave
foot.
an old lady hanging.
All right, you're gonna try and
So I'll try to
you're
climb.
gonna try and climb. Okay, so difficulty to climb. What did I say? 4. Yeah.
I've only got 2.
All right, in the middle.
3 and a 6. That's okay. That's a minor success and a major success. So you managed to make it about halfway across. You're still.
We're hanging up.
Yeah, you're hanging up there.
We're both up there now.
Just on the other side, like,
Come
Christ.
If I'd made the jump, then could have left her.
Yeah.
on. Sister, mother, what's your name?
So I just keep going.
Yep.
Yep.
you're
All
up there.
right, I'll try and make it across the other half.
Yep.
Oh,
one.
God. One good, one bad. So 3.
3. Okay, again, you kind of made a little bit of progress over there, but I think maybe you had a little bit too much confidence in your old climbing. You're like, back in when I was a young...
Back when I was a young
I've been
man,
across there, and back in no time.
I would have carried you all across.
All right. Naomi?
These young
Yeah,
people
I'm gonna
don't
try
help
and
the
make
elderly
it
anymore.
across.
Did you miss?
I did
forget to
miss.
deduct another
Yes, I
stamina
did.
So
Yeah.
you're tiring yourself out. The longer you're up there,
I'm
hanging out-
down 2 stamina
Wait,
already.
do I go down? Sorry.
Did you roll a miss too? No, you didn't
No.
roll a miss. You
No.
rolled a minor success and a success.
Okay.
That's okay.
I like
Two
this
and a
middle
6,
of the
good.
table rolling.
Yeah?
It's very...
Yeah.
We should do this more.
Yeah.
Is that not what we were meant to do?
No, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like roll really quietly. Like that was definitely a 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's like too much
That's
stuff
the
on the
fun of
table.
it.
It's full
Yeah.
of snacks usually.
Cool. Okay. Well, what's your major success? What are you climbing?
Yeah, I was climbing.
4
So
plus 0.
4.
Okay, cool. You are now on the other side. You drop down
Yay.
gracefully and join. What's your name? Daisy and Walter.
Christ.
Chris. Jesus.
Chris
Yeah.
Christo.
And I'm like, "Psst, let's leave the old lady.
Oh.
All right. Last.
Oh my goodness. This is my good. This is my
is your
best.
best stat.
This is my best stat, right? Yep.
Oh, but 2 major successes plus a failure. So
Yeah.
you're across. Okay.
Yeah, I get a 9, but I'm
There's a moment there
Incredibly
where you're
tired.
not entirely sure, but you're like, oh, okay, she made it. And she drops down on the other side.
Can I just like give all my stuff to Daisy? You must carry.
Just
I'll get on the back.
carrying you around.
Well,
Cool.
exhausted.
You are now on the other side of the swamp entrance, and you can see ahead the ground is muddier and darker. Ahead, though, you see a couple of lanterns moving around in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and avoid them, or you can just wait until they approach.
Lanterns. That must be people about.
Yeah. We're gonna go to them.
We're gonna go to them.
Yeah, you have to spread your message of light.
That's
Absolutely,
right. There's
yeah.
light in the forest. That must mean we must
Yeah.
join the light
Yeah,
together
yeah.
to make a
Right.
bigger
If you
light.
stay on the path, you
Yeah. Can I call out?
Yeah.
Hello there.
Oh, there.
Hello there, pilgrim.
What road traveler?
A confused voice calls back, says, "Who goes there? What is your business in this part?"
We're fellow light seekers.
Fellow seekers of the light. I've got me, Mother Superior, and Christ. And Christ's sidekick, Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Can I start singing my song? Yes.
3 figures emerge from the darkness. Sorry, by the way, it's dusk
dark.
kind of nighttime. The moon is full, but the canopy overhead shields a lot of the light. 3 figures emerge. There is one well-dressed person. He's wearing a chainmail vest, wearing a very official-looking hat that you recognize is from the Coldstream Guards, the Imperial military force in this area. His 2 people behind him look more like commoners who've just been, a militia who's been drafted from Baronthorn or something like that. He says, "What are you doing in this area? It's off limits. Can't you see the quarantine signs?"
No.
Let's kill him.
Calm down, Kick-Ass. We've been through this.
Actually, you raised a good point. So, sorry, I didn't mention. On your character sheets, there's various skills with an asterisk. Asterisk actually means something different, but they are social combat skills. So rather than stabbing, there are other ways. So
I've been telling you this for months. There are other ways.
So you can, for example, bluff. You can just lie your way out of the situation. You could influence someone to try and persuade them or try and inspire them that you're doing the right thing, even though it may be not the legal thing in this case. You might persuading them with a logical, reasoned argument that I don't know, whatever you want to come up with. As long as it's got an actual logical foundation, that's what Persuade is for. Meanwhile, you could inspire them and just get them all amped up and say, yes, we're going to do this, it's all right. Same thing, you could intimidate them to try and obviously browbeat them into, or bully them into being part of your plan. Or what's also diplomacy. So you could just bribe them straight up.
Nice.
Here's what I. Or you don't have to get them to be tangible. You could anything that's a trade and offer. I'll do some favor for you in the afterlife. You shall be rewarded. Those kind of skills. So
Eternal gratitude of for the order
What
of the
about
life.
influence? What is that?
So influence. So
Vigilance.
so that is because it comes from your vigilance and your faithful nature.
Yeah.
You're trying to. It's like a motivational speaker.
Like
That's
affect
the kind
them
of
emotionally.
So by using your own charisma is the wrong word, but as in using your passion, your faithfulness, how determined you are to actually do that, you try to convince them that you're doing something right or that they should be joining your side. So the example here is you've got two kind of hit points. You've got confidence and you've got toughness. Toughness works a lot like regular hit points. You take damage, you'll take a wound, but confidence is more like your social hit points. So once you've worn your confidence down to 0, it's the same, right? Like as in you're not so sure anymore that you want to take the course of action you did, and you might, when you get to 0 confidence, you might run away, you might surrender, or you could convince these guys to surrender or to try and join your side or something
Right,
like
so
that.
we can wear down their confidence as
and
well.
it works exactly the same as regular combat. So you want to try and convince them, now's the time, use any of those skills, and you can...
Let's convince them to join our group.
Yeah.
We need assistance.
I need some more porters to carry the luggage.
Need more cannon fodder.
yeah, that's right.
We'll put them in the front.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys doing here, guys?
I say it's our mandate. We are here to patrol the border of the quarantine area and ensure that no unauthorized person enters the area. Quarantine is serious business. We can't let the blights, the spore sickness spread across the empire.
I completely agree and concur. We are doing the exact same thing. We're here to rid this area of the blight.
Good.
We have
That's a noble goal indeed.
yeah.
So for what it's worth, though, I think that's a lie. So you should probably.
So bluff? Is that
That's
okay?
a bluff then. Yeah.
All right.
Naughty.
Let's burn through some more stamina. An 8 and a 3.
Sorry, so
Alex.
that's against his special defense.
Oh, I've got a special defense.
Sorry, so everyone has ability defense, which is effectively your you've got a
Like your
melee
mental.
defense, you've got a ranged defense. Your ability defense is your defense against these kind of magic
these
attacks
things,
or
right.
social.
Mental thing, yeah.
So his is 4. So what did you get it?
A major, yeah.
All right. So therefore, how much major damage
4.
do you do? 4. All right. So he looks a little bit confused for a moment, but he says, well, I mean, it seems that we've got the same goal, but we've been under very strict orders to not allow anyone through. I mean, good that you would like to patrol this area with us. You can welcome to continue along to ensure that there is no one, but you cannot enter these areas.
We're very happy to follow your lead to the center. Sister and I.
No, we ourselves will not enter the Spore Lands. This is a dangerous place.
Okay, then. Anyone else?
We should kill him.
Okay.
Not yet.
I'll try to persuade them to join us.
Okay,
Come
so
join
what's your
us.
logical, reasoned argument?
Because we're on a good mission, and you should just join us. Because, I don't know, your morality should just
Feel obliged to.
That's right.
Think about this poor old lady. She needs help. We need a strong young man to help us
That
along.
works. All right, so you roll again.
Do I have 3?
Yeah, in safety and numbers, right? No, hang on, sorry. What are you using? You're Persuade. So
2.
that's a judgment roll,
Okay.
so that's only 2.
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
Yep, 2 major successes. All right. Seeing pity, they take pity on you and say,
Perfect.
yes, these are dangerous lands. It would be irresponsible of us to try and stop you and to let you go alone. Yes, okay, I will retort back to the town, but take these two, take Joffrey and Elias here. They will help to carry your burden and perhaps make your journey a little bit easier. But be careful though in there. He points to the two
Excellent.
militia members who look very unimpressed that they've been
I
told
immediately
to go
just
into the
hand over
clothes.
all my stuff. Very good. Jeffrey, was it?
Jeffrey and Elias.
Jeffrey
Yeah,
and,
Joffrey.
and Belias. Porters, come on. Hurry up. Chop, chop.
Yeah, they unimpressedly pick up your things and follow you around.
Excellent.
So, meanwhile, the magistrate guy decides he's going to go off to report back to his superiors that you have gone in, and in case he says, I'll rendezvous with you in the morning. If you haven't gone out, we'll have to send in a rescue party to try and make sure that there's nothing bad has happened to you. Many have entered
Perfect.
these
That would be swell.
lands, and few have returned.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
that's nice that they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. What a lovely man.
Nice
Still, what a nice young man.
guy.
And you were going to kill him.
I'm still suspicious of these two guys that are coming with us.
All right.
You can walk behind them. So
Yeah.
that if anything
I'll
Just like
give him a
sharpening
stare.
knives
Stare
behind
I'm
at
them.
imagining a Drax character, right?
Yeah.
All right, well done. You may all have an advancement point, which you can use for more flashbacks. I don't know who used a
Yay.
flashback. You did?
I did.
Yep.
So I use that for athletics. Is that what the
Well, I
thing
gave it
that
to you for
got
jump,
was?
but I'll also you should write it down in your history. So there's a spot there. If something else comes up that is suitably related to jumping or athletics that isn't covered under that, I've got no problem letting
Okay.
you also have an advantage on that roll. So
Jumping is that? That's what I
Are
got.
we adding one to this or something?
no. So
No.
there's a spot up here, advancement. So that's like
Oh,
experience,
just
but
put-
that allows you to have flashbacks basically. 'Cause it's-
So you have to like spend
Spend
an
your
advancement
advancement
point
point
to have a flashback,
Ah,
right?
okay, cool.
And then that point then gets added to one of
to
your
your
things.
skill. That's how you
Cool.
get your skill. Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Sorry,
the
yeah, this is a role-playing game thing. It's like experience, you spend it to advance.
Yeah.
But flashback's not like the
So I
game.
have another
It's not
one of
like
those
a
now that I can use.
normal
Is that
shit.
correct?
You don't have level, like you're not level 1, level 10
I
or
don't
something
think
like
you
that.
need to.
It's all skill-based. So you advance your
Advancement is-
skills, you advance your stats.
But I think
and
you
level up your
spent-
stats
you
by increasing your
spent the one
personality
he just gave you.
attributes.
Kind
Oh,
of.
So
right,
as
right.
time
Because
goes
you
on,
use
you
the
might find
flashback.
you become even more and more stubborn,
Right.
or you find that you decide to. You think that being, for example, if you were deceptive, you see that you actually want to be a bit more forthright, and that will change your stats as you go forward. But for now, right now.
Does that? Did we start with one as well? Or
You should
was
have started
that?
with one,
Okay,
but I'm
sweet.
not
So
saying
there's
that, yeah.
one. So now.
Oh, so now we have two.
and
You
I
get
have
2
one.
if you have.
And Charlotte has one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Next area. Okay, you are entering the Spore Bog.
Dun dun dun.
The wet ground beneath your feet grows softer with every step, soon becoming a spongy mud that saturates your shoes. As you push forward, the mud softens even more into a cold, thick, sucking bog that sinks down to your knee. As you fight for every step, concentrating on dragging your tired legs through the unforgiving mud, something gives you pause. The persistent roar of insect noise, which had been your unwelcome companion for the past few hours, has stopped. In fact, there's almost no noise at all in this area, just the gentle drip of water from leaves above, and the tedious slop and suck from your feet with each step you take. Ahead of you, though, you see it. Clouds of low, luminous spores hanging ominously in patches just above the bog. You notice now that almost all the plants in this area are dead, blackened and shriveled from the deadly spore sickness that has devastated so many parts of the Empire. Without warning, Sister... Sorry, what's your name?
Maud.
Sister Maud is struck from behind.
Hey.
A giant gharial crocodile covered in yellow spores and painful sticky boils springs up from below the surface and tries to drag you under the mud.
No.
My white robes.
What is your melee defense?
4.
4. Okay.
Hi.
9 and 10. Oh. It grabs you. You
Yeah,
take
party for your game.
6
Flashback, yeah.
toughness
Very
damage.
exciting.
I take
Yeah.
6 toughness damage.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
And it bites you and tries to grab you under. Okay,
Okay,
your turn.
under
We don't do initiative. We
the
just
mud,
basically
right,
go in
okay.
whatever order we can.
one does.
And
So
you guys made it?
Okay.
Alex did. Yeah, it's his
Uh,
game. Yeah.
Can I try and shoot it?
you
Yeah,
can,
there's,
yes.
if you
My riffle?
head down the back, there's like a table set up with some candy and
So how does
cupcakes,
that work?
and
Okay,
a bunch
so
of game rules and dice
skill rolls,
as well.
sorry, attack rolls work
So
exactly
there's, like,
the same
people
as other
down
skill
there
rolls.
running games and stuff.
You
I'd
roll
play, I would
so
definitely play, but
ranged
I've been
attack.
up with someone to play.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry, there you go.
Oh,
There's a
sick,
skill
no worries.
called
We'll
range.
grab a pamphlet.
You
Yeah,
can
sure, down there. It's really fun.
Sorry, so you roll
Cheers.
against its melee defense, its range defense, which is 5. And basically see what you get. So if you have a flashback now, though, is a good time to tell us how you learned to shoot the rifle or why you have the skill with the rifle.
All right. So and if I tell you a flashback, then I get a point to use here.
You get a point in your ranged attack. So using
cool.
range,
Well.
So just basically when and where, yeah.
Yeah, I was with the king, and he wanted me to shoot an apple off his daughter's head, and so I did lots of practice beforehand. So
Why did he want that?
Well, he was trying to show his faith.
Don't question the king.
Yeah, off with your head. And so I did lots of practice because I didn't want to shoot her, and I was successful. So there you go. It's like William Tell.
Except it was the king's daughter, not your own daughter.
Yeah. I think he listened to the William Tell overture lots and lots, and that somehow hypnotized him to do the William Tell
there are
thing.
plenty of mad royalty. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, as in this sort of like the Imperial line has been going a long, long time, and I won't be. They don't want to talk
A
about
long,
it, but
long
there's-
time and kind of interbreeding.
That's right.
Keep it all in the family.
That's maybe why he wanted to shoot the daughter, for less interbreeding.
Yeah, so fine. You didn't ask questions, but
That's
yeah.
right.
So, I mean, how long ago was this?
Last week.
So,
I'm still very experienced.
you're now
It's newly experienced.
Yeah, that's right. I did lots of practice.
In a week.
Yeah.
I didn't
so you
wanna-
decided that, and then you came out here to look for stars.
Yes, to look for.
So you were
stuff.
successful, but he was
Yeah. No, he's very pleased that I
Okay.
did- Yeah.
Kill his daughter.
Yes.
Sounds like a punishment to me.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But, I mean, yeah, I would leave too if I was had to deal with a crazy imperial family member. Like, they're pretty powerful. They can basically imprison you or lock you up,
That's
and if
right.
he's crazy, he's going to do crazy things. So
That's
all right.
right.
Okay,
Let's
interesting
try.
story.
Let's see if my practice
So yeah,
works.
sorry, don't forget to add 1 to your ranged skill,
Okay,
and you can roll a
so-
d12.
So just here. Where do I?
So the next skill
I'll
that
just
says
put it
range.
here.
Yeah, put a little dot there.
Oh, okay.
So now you can roll 1d12 instead of 1d10 when you roll with
Okay,
your
like
rifle.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, see my practice works.
Yeah.
I did lots of practice.
No.
Maybe
So
you
much.
did more than a week.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
I'm just saying you can made up the story.
Apples on the head, don't
Maybe
move.
actually-
Crocodiles, they're moving.
Maybe I actually shot her. I'm just telling you I
Hindsight.
missed.
Yeah.
No.
Then that's why you ran away. You just don't want to
Yeah.
deal with it.
I don't want to cut my head off.
All right, yeah. So that's a minus success and a miss. So don't forget to deduct 1 stamina for your miss.
So it's this one and this one.
Yeah, so -2. So fortunately, melee rolls can't go negative. Some skills can have a negative result. Like, for example, the personality skills I was telling you about. If you screw up badly, you put your foot in your mouth and they'd believe you less than they did before. They're going to say, hang on, this guy's up to something. But in this case, the shot just goes wild, flies off into the darkness. It was just all too sudden for you, and you just missed entirely. So no damage to the crocodile. You're not going to heal the
Sorry,
crocodile.
sister.
So. All right.
Can I use my iron axe?
You can.
So what sort of attack is that?
So that's a melee.
A melee attack?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And can I give you a flashback?
You can,
to-
at any time you like.
So,
How come you're good at axes?
It was actually, my grandma is a lumberjack,
Mhm.
and
Nice.
she taught me how to use an axe properly, and she told me to always carry an axe with
Amazing.
you because you will need it.
So
One
you,
day.
when you were
For
growing up-
axing.
Yes. So I got very good at chopping wood,
Nice.
and because of my grandma,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
she's amazing.
So what
Yeah.
happened to her? When was the last time you
Oh,
saw
I
her?
was hoping you wouldn't say that. Alright, so then she turned her back on me and tried to kill me with an axe.
Oh. She
And that's
always carried
why
an axe.
I am a skeptical person.
Why did she try and kill
No
you?
one.
She turned around because it was she was overtaken by all the excitement of the first
The Starfall.
Yeah, the first Starfall.
And she decided it was like the end of the world and had to sacrifice people.
Exactly.
That's
and
nuts.
she turned her back on me, yes.
Oh.
Is this her axe that you're carrying?
And I luckily stopped her with my amazing reflexes.
Nice.
And
Wow.
Chopped
she
her head off.
probably
And I killed
She was
her.
very awesome.
And I killed my grandma.
But she was very awesome.
Until that point.
And I
Until
took
that
the
point, she was
axe, and because she was still attacking me, she had to go.
All right.
But I'm very distraught about it.
But I'm really
So
caught
I
up
don't
with
want to talk about it.
Okay, all right. You don't have to tell it. You don't have to tell any of the other characters. But
I told
fair
you.
enough. Okay.
So
Sorry
what do
about
I
your
put a
grandma.
1
So
with my
melee?
melee.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Cool. And don't forget to write the thing about your grandma. It's probably going to come back up
Here,
later on.
grandma?
Yeah, in your little history. I
Grandma
might use that in a
axe.
future campaign about.
Grandma Lumberjack.
Well, yeah, and also the bit where you killed her, but you know.
She tried to kill me first.
If anyone else, so you have a grandma, right? Yeah, she's a lumberjack. And then nothing else? No, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
That is all.
No, it's more, where did you get that axe?
Oh.
Grandma.
That's not a lie.
Grandma.
Okay, you get a d12.
Oh, cool. So I traded it out for one of these.
Yeah, that's right. So now instead of rolling a d10, you're going to roll a d12.
Hey.
Sorry, you need a 5 or higher to melee
Yeah.
defense.
I can't read
one
this
of those
dice.
is a, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
One
10.
is a 10. So 10, that's good. So 1 major success and 1 minus. So what's the total? Oh, sorry, and don't forget your axe. So it's either 1 major, so add 6.
So 6
Yep, that's from
plus
your stats.
6, 12,
Yep, plus 1 from the minor and plus 0 from there. So 13.
13.
I need a thing to write stuff down. Alright, great.
Paper.
Good job. I know I don't know.
He's got that.
Can I add that grandma was harder to kill?
Then there's bloody
Cool.
crocodile.
All right. Yeah, the axe goes straight and chops off one of its legs. It's got a. So you see that the stump is all decayed and necrotic. Like it's like the whole of its inside is just covered in this spore sort of fungus. Inside, no blood shoots out. It's all just.
Oh, I feel sorry for it.
It's wild and ravenous.
So I'm gonna swap.
We need to put
Your
it out of
turn.
its misery.
My turn.
Yep.
I will draw my short sword, my
Yep.
short blade, and take a swing at the
Cool.
guy, even though I'm not very good at it. So 2.
Yep. So melee. So you need a sorry, it's melee defense is 5, which means difficulty is 5.
Okay.
So.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. 10 and a 1. So that's all right. So what's your short blade? So
Is
you melee
Plus
strength?
4.
Yep.
Plus 4, a major success, which is the 10, or is that a?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
major
the
success,
10,
yeah.
so it's plus 6.
So 4 plus 6 is 10. Yep.
Yep.
And then your miss. So don't forget to deduct 1 stamina.
Yep.
And then -2.
Yep. And then -2, and also minus whatever it says on the miss value for the sword as well. So the weapon makes you.
Oh,
It kind of like
Better
amplifies
and-
both extrees, right?
Yeah,
you
right,
might
right.
roll really high, but also it makes it miss much worse. So,
Yeah.
Or maybe in this case, not much worse, depending on what the weapon is.
So miss is -4. So -6 altogether.
Really?
Yeah,
You got
I've
10.
got minus.
Oh, sorry. It's
But I missed
10
a
minus 6 is so 4 in total. All right. So yeah.
Not so good.
The sword overbalances slightly in your hand, and you deal 4 damage to the crocodile. Again, a slice opens up in its side, but no blood comes out. You can see the raw skin underneath is all, all
Not good.
pussy and infected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I blast it with my Prima Arcanus?
You can. So spells, right. That's
Yeah.
the spell.
How do spells work?
Exactly the same as weapons. So
Okay.
this card has some special rules about it. So
Yep.
arcane magic, again, it's this sort of inner focus, and the negative part about it is that it tends to build up an entropy charge on the outside of your body. And if you cast too many spells, that starts to overload your body. So the spell itself there says if you have 3 or more entropy, you can't cast it.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're okay for now, you've got no entropy, but you have to somehow remove that.
Yeah. So just I automatically gain 1 entropy, right?
By casting the spell.
By casting
yeah,
the
even
spell.
if it misses, yeah.
Can I put that down? So I'm going to write this entropy. And what
Sorry, so there's
stat do I use for it?
Judgment, there's a stat called Focus, which is used for arcane
Focus.
magics. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. Oh, sorry. So you're obviously leveling up. Tell me about how you learned to cast these spells. Obviously, sister.
My connection to the light has led to some spiritual awakening, and I've connected into a resource where my body has aged and grown frail. My mind has expanded, and I can connect with magic.
So it's sort of like your advanced age has been amplified by your incredible skill.
Yes, I'm becoming like
She's actually,
increasingly.
like, 30.
Yeah. I may look
She
60.
looks like Maggie
yeah,
Smith,
that's right, mate. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sort of like been
So
aging
is this
beyond
a-
my years, but
So I mean, magic,
Connecting
like,
to
it all
magic.
comes from items, but it's something that only certain people can have the connection to do so. So did you learn to do this, or was it something you
I
just
studied it over many years of
Right, through
as
the
part
church.
of through the church.
Yeah, and they have
that's right.
access to a lot of arcane secrets.
Books
so-
and knowledge, and I have disciplined myself to learn it and understand it so that I can protect people from it in the world.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, you can definitely have the flashback point. So you level 1
Awesome.
in focus. Here is your D12.
Very nice. All right, let's roll some ones.
Sorry, its special defense is only 2, so you have a good chance.
All right, so I got a 5 and a 10.
So 2 mages.
So 2 mages, so that's for this, so plus 12.
Plus your actual stat as well. So.
Plus 4, so 16.
Well, hang on, 2 major successes, so 8.
Hey, no, so the mage's plus 4, right?
Yeah.
So
you added
4
twice,
plus,
'cause
yep,
you
so
got 2.
8, then plus, then I add this as well, the item
and
as
the
well.
second number from that, because you got 2 successes.
Oh, okay, yeah, so plus 12 as well. So,
So 12 plus 12.
20.
No, sorry. Oh, yeah, 20.
20.
All right, 20. All right. You
Amazing.
unleash all electrical discharge, completely blowing it up. The lightning arcs out and flies across its body. The whole thing starts to burn and roast, and the smoke shoots out of its gaps in its scales, where steam and everything basically roasting it into a single sort of solid piece of crocodile meat.
Dinner's ready.
The whole thing then starts to float over the top of the swamp, and it is now completely dead
I
and
like
nullified.
try and wipe off as much gunk
Yeah.
off my white robes, which are now, I assume, filthy.
Yes.
And then
I
sort
also
of
hurry over and just start like wiping all the gunk
I just
off.
present it for you. Like,
And
Sister,
I'm pissed
please.
off that an old lady beat the crocodile.
Yeah.
see, not so
Oh,
frail
yeah.
after all.
Cool, well done. All right. Eventually, the disgusting bog gives way to a spongy marsh made of dense plants and moss. Although it is slippery, you can still stand here, and you are relieved to see no further signs of spore blight. You must be getting close to the site of the starfall now. Many of the trees here have fallen over, splintered and broken, and snapped in half as if by the force of a large impact. Abruptly, the tree line ends, and a large circular clearing opens up before you. Splintered wood and strewn debris is everywhere. This must be the impact crater of the starfall. Right in the center, a dull red glowing light seems to be buried deep inside a huge pile of earth, plants and vine matter. This must be the valuable nexus you seek.
Very good. Sister, inspect.
Retrieve it for me.
Yeah. Go get it. Should we invest in search? Is that a thing that we can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
to look at it
Yeah.
more closely?
Vigilance?
Vigilance, yes, of course. You're vigilant and faithful at your
Yeah.
senses.
I just stride right on up.
Okay, roll.
Um,
The difficulty would be 6.
What's your good one?
oh,
Oh,
drop the dice.
No.
fairly well.
It's all
Right in the middle.
Right in the
Oh,
middle.
that's a good one.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
So that's 3 major successes.
All right, you plunge your hand into the center of the pile,
Ooh.
and
Oh, God.
suddenly a big yellow sphere opens up in the middle of the pile.
Oh,
And then
Jesus.
2 more on either side, and another 2, forming a line of 5 eyes.
Dun, dun, dun.
You just put your hand in its mouth.
Yeah. That's
Sorry, we
fine.
need space.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh. Come on, man.
Delicious.
The whole pile gets up. Sorry, I'm just going to get Milo to change the camera angle. Milo, sorry, can you change the camera angle for me? Although you've never seen something like this before, you recognize this as a titan. It's this gigantic beast. You've heard rumors about them out on the frontier. They ravage across the empire. They're huge creatures, unstoppable forces of nature. This entire pile of leaves and debris seems to be animated as if it's created from bits of wood and mud and sticks that has congealed together into a single entity. You might want to take one of your dice and place it. So, Fighting Titans, this is the fun part. Basically, it's so big that you have to actually decide where on it you are. Obviously, you can just stand in front of it and hit its toes, but you can climb up its arms, jump onto its back, balance across its shoulders, and stab it in the head. And the higher up you go, the more vulnerable spots you'll find. Plus, there are also areas, for example, when you're here, this place represents ranged attacks. Too far away to do a melee attack. You have to get a bit closer. Okay. But obviously getting closer puts you in more threat of its gigantic claws and huge giant eyes and teeth. And
so we can't try diplomacy.
No, actually,
we could.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, diplomacy being...
Shush, boy. Shush.
Yes.
Down.
So even in combat, even against things you're fighting, you can deal confidence damage. So I think you mentioned you have a weapon. You have a spell that deals... See the little intrigue thing that represents confidence damage.
Okay.
And if you can, I mean, it's going to be hard, but if you can wear down its confidence far enough, it might retreat, it might lose lose the ability to fight, it might decide that you're too much of a threat and run away or something like that. I mean, if it had a weapon, it might lay down its weapons and surrender or something along those lines. Having said that's a long shot, but you know, I get there. It happens with everyone. Sorry, everyone is over here in the range square. So I place your little marker there. Just as a quick thing, I don't have the numbers printed out here, so I'll have to read them out for you, but you can move to the melee square for free. You get 2 actions on your turn, so you can move and attack, obviously, you can attack twice, or you can move twice and try and climb up even higher. So once you're here in the melee square, you can either go left or right. You have to use acrobatics to get within range of it, because it's moving around, you don't want to get squashed on the way there. Climb up to its shoulder, up to its elbow there, maybe jump up to its shoulder, and then balance to get to the back of there. So each of those would be
so different abilities for different... Okay, cool.
That's right, yeah. And as you go higher up, I'll have to tell you what the actual difficulties are. Again, it's printed out on my thing.
Does this poster come with the game?
Yes, that's right. That's part of the rewards, the backer rewards. In fact, if you're backing
that's right. Hey guys, if you buy it now, you get one of these for free.
Only for limited time.
No, we have these printed out. That's why we're here in store to give away these. So yeah, if you back it, I'll give it to you for free.
So the one in the background as well is another Titan too?
Yeah, we have multiple Titans. So this is just one.
This is just one Titan, right?
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of
I'll do
different
it this way. Oh no.
Different Titans.
Different Titans.
Spooky.
He's cool.
He's creepy.
He's like a swamp boy too.
Yeah, that guy's more like an underwater thing. I think of him like a big seaweed.
He's like
seaweed monster.
Yeah, this guy's more like trees and forest. Sorry, you can see the numbers there. That's my printed out version, but we'll have to play. Cool. Okay. What did you do? You were surprised
Stuck
by
my
it,
hand in
so it's going to
something.
go first. Sorry, actually, yeah. You're fair. You should be at least here.
Yeah.
Was that you? No, you're green. Sorry.
I'm green.
Okay. It bites you. I'm going to roll.
Excellent.
The
Thank you.
eyes lit and the teeth suddenly appear, and before you know what's happening, what is your melee defense? You're going to take a lot of damage. I'm sorry.
Oh shit! This is it.
So 3 major successes. I'm working from memory here, but you take 15 toughness damage.
Okay.
You only have 17.
I know.
Yeah. So
Pretty much dead.
Yeah.
She's in a coma.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
it's fine.
what'll happen is when you run out of toughness, you'll take a wound. A wound is a temporary -1 to your one of your stats.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
It bites you. That's its turn. All right, we will go around the circle.
Okay.
Walter.
I'm actually going to try to persuade the Joffrey and
those guys.
Oh, the cannon fodder!
persuade them to attack the monster.
Good idea. Okay, yeah. So this would be a good chance. For it's worth, persuade is fine if you can be very just, but inspire would be the perfect thing to be
let's
like.
do inspire.
Let's go together, guys.
Yeah, come on. Just
Kill
like
the
Penny the
thing.
Fish or something.
Yeah.
Rush!
So inspire is vigilance. So you summon every part of your faithful nature and say, "We must stick together, team."
It's strength.
Oh, inspire strength. Oh no, sorry. In that case, I'm sorry. I'm looking at influence. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, inspire them. So
So
yeah,
there's
you
2.
use your reckless nature and charge in and say, "Follow me, comrades."
Follow me. Yeah, follow me.
Follow Christ.
Follow me, but you go first. That's what I want to say.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, both of them are driven to go, and they both decide to charge.
They
forward.
follow you in
Yeah.
front of
If
you.
they're the same.
Yep, they're my.
Okay.
I'll put
They're
them on there to
orange.
represent you.
Yeah.
Good
I
job.
think it was
Cool.
You
one
have
for
another
each,
action, by the way.
I
You
think.
got 2 actions.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
right, one for each.
Okay, and then maybe I try to. What's this? Enlighten. What does that do?
It is a spell. Okay. So yeah, first of all, you can just use it. You do use Vigilance has a skill called Meditate, which is for the sort of more arcane. That's what I'm looking for. Divine
Healing
type of
kind of
spells.
Yeah.
So yes, enlighten them. So let the intensity of your faith burn brightly within you and others. So presumably this is an artifact you've taken from a priest of some
my
kind.
father.
From your father. Okay.
God.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Of his father and the Holy
Well,
Ghost.
It's just in my DNA, and it came through.
He has a Holy
Yeah.
Spirit, one could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, man, she knows all that.
All right. So yeah, roll with vigilance
2.
with meditate. Yep.
Okay, come on.
Oh,
For I'll call it a 9.
yay!
Yeah.
So this is against his special defense, which is only 3. So you're good.
Oh, cool.
So 2 major successes. What's your major success value?
4.
So 2 major successes. 8.
Oh, sorry. 8.
Plus the value on the second major.
9.
Oh, yeah, that middle one number.
17.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing the maths.
Yeah, that's what I need from you. I need the number. How much damage are you dealing?
17!
17.
Yay.
All right, so for its worth, that deals energy damage. See, there's a different symbol there. So there's 3
Yeah.
types of damage. There's physical damage, energy damage, and then, like I was saying, there's also that sort of intrigue or social damage, which means that you've persuaded them more. And my thing has
That's what
run
the
out of
3
power,
numbers
and
are
that's
with
annoying.
the
Yeah.
forward strokes.
That's not good.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yay!
No,
Oh,
it's
no.
gone. Oh, no, okay.
I don't want to know.
Bummer.
All right,
He's got a
well, I'm
charger.
working for...
Yeah,
Oh,
yay!
really?
Yay!
Guys, come on.
No, no.
Improvising.
Okay, so what did you say? 17 damage. So what does the rest of the spell say?
Just the whole reading out, do you mean?
Yeah.
Read out the spell? Okay.
Oh, sorry, I forgot your eyes are not great. Maybe now you can do it.
If you deal more than 10
Energy damage.
apply the fire status to your target. Targets with the fire status take 1
Energy
Energy
damage.
at the end of their turn. 2 energy on the second, 4 on the third, doubling each turn each time another fire status will be applied. A character can spend 1 action to extinguish the fire.
Cool. So it took 17 damage then. And at the end of its next turn, it'll take 1, and then the turn after that, it'll take 2. And when I say 4, the doubles
Double.
every single
Yeah.
time. So then 8 after that on the fourth turn.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're now
Right.
on fire basically.
It's on fire.
Yeah, and the fire
Oh.
spreads
Good
across
job.
its body.
Sick.
Thanks.
Well done.
I feel
All
sorry
right.
for it,
Naomi,
though.
your turn.
It's burning. Sorry.
Kill it with fire!
Me with
Classic-
my recklessness,
classic
I'll
Windows.
move closer towards it
Yes.
as my first
What
go.
color are you? Purple.
Purple.
Yep, cool.
Yep, and you know me, I just love to axe things.
I see you attack it, okay.
Give it a lop.
Yeah,
I'm working from memory here. Let's say it has 7 as the melee defense.
great. And I'm just back to using these 3.
So
Right.
yeah.
Or do I still get the extra?
No, you still get it. So
Oh,
you've
yay.
got that.
I've
That's
got
part
that
of your
forever.
backstory. So the part where you had to kill your grandmother in a brutal, gruesome manner
Tried
is
to kill
part of
me
your
first.
character now. And so that was how you
Right.
became skilled with your axe.
Yes, I'm very good.
What did I say?
Good.
7. So 1 major
1
success,
and 2
1
not.
miss. So don't forget to deduct your stamina.
Yeah.
And 1 major. So what's that?
Where are we? Here. So 6 is major, but -3 is miss.
So 3 plus you got 1 major and 1 miss on your weapon.
So that's 12 for that one.
another
but then
-3.
another -3.
So 12. So 6 damage in total, right?
Yes.
Yep. Cool. All right. So 6 damage. The axe plows into its large, big toe, Kind
Nice.
of. I mean, it's
I
not
chopped
like-
its toenail.
Yeah,
Kill it.
give me a little pedicure. Yeah. Very
A
nice.
chunk of damage to the
It's like,
gigantic
it looks
overall.
nice, yes.
Yeah.
That's better than fire.
I'm
helping.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Daisy,
Monster's
Daisy
great
to champ. Your turn.
Okay. Should I use this?
Have you got a
prayer?
healing thing
Or
for
have
you?
you taken? I haven't taken any like wounds yet.
But wounds are actually not really possible to heal with your sort of. You have to either rest or
Right, okay.
certain foods and drinks and things like that will help you, but it's really more of a time thing.
So this says I like remove all
Yeah,
creatures in your
damage.
area remove damage. So
Yeah.
would that remove?
He would heal you, yeah,
Oh, sick! Amazing.
So you can heal yourself.
and everyone else
classic.
if anyone else has taken some. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone else took damage.
Any creatures?
I've got
yeah,
some
that's
from
right, the
the
crocodile
crocodile.
bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this spell is slightly different. The thing is, the difficulty you can choose it. So the higher difficulty you choose to roll, the more you'll heal.
Yeah.
But you also might not succeed.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But I might flashback for it. If
Oh
you
yeah,
can.
tell me a bit about. Your...
So this says it's a prayer or
Yep.
strike. So it's gonna be a flashback, but like it's only happened once or twice as I've like channeled into my divine studies. I become overcome with religious.
Fervor.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
tell me about
fervor.
the key with flashbacks is it's about when and where you learned it. That's the level 1 flashback. Obviously, a level 2 flashback is more detailed. Tell me a bit about who you were with and why you were there and so forth. You can go into more detail if you want. So, when did you learn about this spell? Who gave you the knowledge or whatever?
I guess like the kind of mother superior.
That's right.
At the who raised me when I was left in her nunnery as an orphan. Raised me, and I would sneak her books at night to try and become
Snuck
as
into
powerful
her
as her.
Secret stuff.
Yeah, so she doesn't know that I've been studying magic.
Oh.
But I've been studying from her books and scrolls in secret at night.
Well, we'll have a word about this
become-
later, sister.
If we survive.
If we survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
Okay,
That is
perfect.
what-
No, that's excellent. So you've stolen the secrets of the knowledge. Yeah. So what difficulty are you going to choose to roll at 1 to 10, or really 2 to 10? 1 would be always fair.
One would be what's a good middle ground?
So if you
like a-
pass it, that's how much you heal. Everyone heals that
Well,
amount.
yeah.
Is that
because
how
the
it
specific
works?
wording of it is you add their value, the number.
equal to the result plus the difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just pick like
like
6 or something.
yeah, like 6.
Yeah.
So I'll
Okay.
make the difficulty 6. I get this because
Because you have a skill in it. Yep.
Yep. So that's
So
What
so
is
it's
it?
Meditate.
Meditate.
Right? So that's from your vigilance, which is good. You got high vigilance.
so I have 3. So I roll 2 of these plus one of those. In the middle, what do I get? 9
One good one.
Yeah.
Or 2 goodies and a no.
and a no.
Yeah.
So
That's just a 0.
what do
So
you mean?
12?
Yeah, 12.
Yep. So that's the result is 12
Yep.
plus your difficulty you chose to be 6, so
Yep.
plus another 6.
Yep.
So let's say
18.
everyone in the area heals 18.
Yep.
Cool.
So everyone,
Awesome.
if you need to, you can do that. So that puts me back
Excellent.
on
That's so
my
much healing.
17. And then
Nice one.
all creatures in range take something and a stun for 1 round.
Equal to. Oh right. Okay. Sorry. No, it's not Anstan for one. So everyone takes confidence damage. So the blast of light flies out from you. You all feel warm and inspired by it. However, it's such an intense light that you feel now overwhelmed by the incredible divine energy coming out of Daisy.
Shit.
And
Sorry.
so you all take confidence damage equal to
Oh.
what did I say? Half of
Half that.
Half
total.
equal to half of the result plus half. So
Oh.
result was 18 plus
Yep.
half.
So 18
Yep.
plus half.
Plus 9.
Plus 9. Really? That's a lot. Sorry.
Sorry. It's not. It's the result was only 12. So plus half of that. So you 15.
15.
So everyone takes 15. If you're on 0 confidence or lower, let me know.
Okay,
I'm on.
Sorry, guys.
The second one's blinding,
I thought it would
overwhelming
just
flash.
did.
Well, no,
do
it
to the
takes it
monster.
too, yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's got way more confidence with that. So
Cool.
some of its eyes look like they're distracted, other ones are not. Slightly stunned, but have been blinking with
guys.
its multiple eyes.
Yeah.
Very good.
If
Okay.
you had overs on something, they would have had a choice. Either they take a wound or they're stunned for one.
Right.
So-
Okay. Sweet. And then I'm going to use my movement if that's okay.
Yep.
To jump.
Sorry, these
Where am
are
I
yours.
here?
Yep.
I'll jump up on its.
Okay, so you need to roll acrobatics. Again, I think it was a 4 difficulty,
I
so
can't do
roll
that.
to do acrobatics to get within there without getting squashed.
Was that your worst one?
Yeah, it's my worst one.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey,
I
it's
got
a 4.
Oh, then you. Wait, no. Then you get a 0, which
Cool.
is no. So unfortunately, you lose your
I just
nerve at the
fall
last
down.
minute, and you don't quite get
Ah.
close
There we
enough to be there.
All right,
16 stars.
let's blast this mother out of town. I'm going to prima donna
Oh yeah.
this cat.
You got two more backers.
2 more backers,
Yay!
yeah.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you, backers. We should be doing that on the stream.
Yay! That's bad.
Oh, that is right. If you want to see Mitch make a critical miss, subscribe now.
Hey, look, I'm getting tired, alright? I'm an old lady. I've now lost 4 stamina. So that's a fail.
What are you trying to cast? Sorry.
I was casting Prima Arcanus.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're saying 0 basically, or are you? It's range defense.
Yeah.
Range defense. It's special defense from where you are standing here is 8. So
8.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I miss 3 times.
Oh,
Great.
Right.
Right. So lightning just blasts off in all sorts of directions, slightly amused from the light explosion that Daisy just created, and so you
Still
still
getting
take
the
the
hang of
entropy
things.
and you
Yep.
deal no damage.
You helped with the pedicure.
Yeah, that's right. I illuminated the pedicure that you... yeah.
All right. I think that makes it its turn.
no!
All right.
Elias and Joffrey.
Oh, yes, okay, sorry. Alright, they, inspired, run towards the creature,
Take
move
the
there,
damage.
and then they attempt to attack it, and they use one, I'll use one dice for each of them.
Do they roll? No.
Yeah, they roll, so the difficulty, no, don't roll them.
Sorry.
That is the...
Roll
Oh,
them.
that's their.
Oh, that's the markers for where they are.
5 and a 3. Both of them miss, because
Oh.
even from here, its melee defense is
Okay.
about 6, so,
Okay, fair enough.
yep.
Okay, try next
All right.
Told you we should have killed him.
Light him on fire again, Walter.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
light him on fire.
Is it
More
turn?
fire.
Oh, it's its
It's
turn.
its
yeah.
turn. Oh.
Okay, so
it's
it rears up on its back legs
No.
and inhales deeply and starts to breathe out a stream of blinding dust and gas and marsh gas and all sorts of filth and tiny insects.
Ah, the dry cleaning
Cross-
cost is going to be...
Don't wear
filth and
white.
mud. Okay, so this is against your... So basically, area of effect things, I roll once, and we just calculate it individually for you. What's your ability defense?
Where's my ability defense?
There.
Oh, here.
Yep.
3.
So, okay, those are 2 zeros and 1, so you take 5 damage.
Okay.
What's
where
your
do I-
ability
Same.
defense? Same 3, 5 damage.
where do I take
Toughness?
Is that
Ability
toughness?
defense.
4.
4. Also 5 damage. Actually,
4.
I think everyone's going to take 5 damage. Yeah, because it's a
So
9.
it's,
So.
5 toughness
Under toughness,
damage.
right?
Under
Toughness. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yep.
Toughness.
Okay, your turn again.
Okay, so we attack him.
Yeah, attack him
Attack
again.
Set him on
No.
fire.
So how much?
Oh, yeah, at the end of its turn, it takes 1 damage from the being on fire.
Yep.
But it'll be 2 damage next turn.
Yeah.
And then 4, and then 8.
Yeah, that'll matter. The
It's
fire.
good.
Stack?
It keeps...
Does that, if you cast it again, would it stack?
That's right, so that's what it says. So every time you apply fire again, the fire increases in intensity. So effectively, if you do it again, it'll be 2 times
4
damage
Four
to
next
the
time.
next turn. So you advance it by 1 level by increasing the amount of fire.
Set it on fire again.
Confidence. Are we not allowed to know? We're not allowed to know.
What's how many hit points it has basically? So I can't tell you.
Oh.
But
We're not allowed to-
it definitely took some confidence damage from the blinding, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really look like it's in any state to run away.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. You can shout at it if you want, but I don't really think.
Stop it.
Give it some more of that... Some more of
What's
that
this singing a
Christ
song?
fire.
What's this
Oh,
singing
okay.
song?
So you also have the Hymn of the Void. So this is like just like the magic of song, bad magic of like bard spell kind of thing, where you can use the power of the psychology to try and scare people away.
Kick-Ass is rolling its eyes right now.
So for every
Just hit it with an axe.
you seriously, you're gonna sing at the monster? Are you serious?
Yes.
So-
Happy and then I clap your hands.
For every turn that you're singing, this deals no damage when you're singing it, but each turn that you use it, it deals slightly more and more confidence damage to it.
Okay.
So it's basically for X turns that you're singing it, it deals X plus 1, X times 1, X times 0 damage. So
Let's
it's
do
like
it.
the longer you go. So
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
start singing.
all right.
If you're happy.
Okay, so starts chanting wildly. It's a sort of a funeral dirge kind of thing, and you
Okay.
feel overwhelmed with sadness and regret everyone around you. However, okay, so roll against a
got a
special
friend
defense.
in
Where are you
Jesus.
standing? You're there. Okay, so special defense is 8 back there.
Man.
So 2. Yep.
Come on, I don't know what I'm doing.
One miss
One
and one
and
success. All right, what's your?
So how do you work this out? I didn't know. So one miss and
So
one
this
major.
is going to be charm based. So perform, that would be the.
Major is 2.
So one miss is that, and then one major is that.
Yep.
So it's 2
1.
minus 1. Is that right?
Yep.
Which is 1.
Which is 1. And the spell itself deals. So you've been singing for 1 turn, so it deals +1, and that's a miss. Remove all those. Okay, so actually it deals 0. So for the rolling the miss, you remove all the counters on the spell, which is nothing. So therefore, times 0 times whatever is 0. So
sorry.
kind of one. It doesn't barely.
Hey, we're
notice.
both ineffective.
Yay.
You're probably wondering why I'm singing this song.
All right.
Yeah.
In the middle of the battle.
I'm
You never know.
standing there laughing and pointing at you right now. So like, I
Serious
knew
guys.
that wouldn't work.
Why did we do
Be sure
this?
that's done.
So I'm going to use my agility to get on the beautifully pedicured toe.
Oh, yep. Roll. So you need a 4 to do agility up to it.
Where's my agility?
Agility down here. Sorry, it's acrobatics. Sorry.
Oh, it's acrobatics.
Yep.
Beautiful. So 2.
But that's okay. I think major and a miss is going to make it because you just need anything above a 0, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, that,
So 4 minus 2 is 2. Sorry. So yep,
Yeah.
you succeed successfully on its foot.
stunning, and the axe comes back out.
Oh, I forgot you had a second action. We
Yeah,
missed
that's
it.
okay. We'll do it after.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
You didn't move. Yeah. All right. You take the axe and swing
I'm
at it
still
like
going
it's a
to
tree trunk.
town. Damn it.
Oh, that's 2 1s. That's real bad.
That's real bad.
That's real bad. Oh man. All right. So what are we doing?
See, that's karma for laughing at him.
Yeah.
You failed to.
Where's
Right,
my karma?
So don't forget to deduct your stamina.
It's 2,
yep,
isn't it? So
you swing,
3.
just bounces off one of its bony armored plates down near its foot. Plus 0 from your stat, plus major. You got no majors.
No majors. They're all
You've
bad.
had minor. Yeah, miss.
Yeah.
Okay, 0, 0. Yeah.
Yeah, 0.
Just bounces right off, glances off harmlessly.
I did nothing.
Okay, Daisy.
We didn't do.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
What's the second go?
Yeah, I need to try and shoot it.
Yes, that's more like
That's
it.
more like
Not helpful. All right, cool. You have a
So-
skill with rifles, remember? Yeah.
I got the ranged, so just do one of each. Is that right? Okay, and then I have to get. What do I have to get in theory?
Oh, sorry. So where you're standing here, you didn't move. So the difficulty there is 8.
I have to get more than 8.
You have to get, well, you don't need to get more than that. You need to get a positive result and deal some damage,
Yeah.
but it might mean that you have a bunch of minor successes would still do it. So
Okay. Okay. So 9 and.
okay, so
That's
that's
good.
major success and 1 minor success.
Okay, so it's here. So then the mine. Oh, okay, 0, and then
So 4.
4.
Plus the value from the
Plus.
weapon, so that you also have major plus 7 plus 1.
Okay, so then that is 12.
12.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
hit
yeah,
it.
so still good. Yeah, so the shot fires up.
Better than the crocodile.
Hits it in the shoulder. You see like a hole open up where you fired at it. So was that 12 damage? No, yeah.
12.
Yeah, 12
Oh.
damage in total. And inside it, there's a bright kind of glowing dull red light coming from within the body of the creature, of the titan.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, now it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna try and. Can I jump instead of acrobatic?
You have to
thing?
acrobatics first. You can't
Okay.
jump that
Alright,
far.
sweet.
yeah.
I guess I'll try and acrobatics
Yeah.
up onto
But then you'll be able to jump. Yeah.
whichever foot is closest to the.
This one?
You can
Shiny
come up the
light.
other way. It matters which leg you're on. Like, he can't
Okay.
attack you if he's on his same leg. So,
Right. I'll just go on to. That
sorry,
one
we
over
were
there.
trying to go there.
Yeah, that
Okay,
one there.
cool.
So agility.
Mhm. That's
that
good. You
good?
got a
Was it?
4, so you
Oh,
succeed.
really?
Yeah,
Sick.
that's a major success.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. You
That-
are now on its right foot.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
I'm
sorry,
green,
that's Joff.
so I can
Joffrey.
do
That's
that.
Joffrey.
Get
off my
Get off my paw.
And then I can
Go further up, or
so could I move again?
You can now
Or-
climb up its leg. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll climb up its
Yeah.
leg instead of attacking.
Yeah. See, the thing that I had on my laptop, which is now out of batteries, is that the numbers gets easier to hit it the higher up you get.
Right,
so
right,
That's
okay.
like
So the
8,
numbers
7,
drop.
6, 5, 4, 3, or something.
Right,
like that,
right. I'm gonna
thereabouts.
try and
just-
keep climbing up it.
Yep.
Instead
Cool.
of
Okay.
hitting it.
So
That's
you
okay.
roll to climb it. This is a 5 to climb. That's not
you
a
can roll.
5.
You can roll 2, right?
Oh right, because it's
Because you got
Yeah.
2.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's 0. Alright, you
Cool.
scramble up
I
its
fall.
legs, your hands find piles of leaves and just kind of fall down, and you end up scrambling and not making any progress up its leg.
Mhm.
If someone else was there, they could help her, for example, I just realised, but no one else is next to
But
you.
no
so
one's
if
there.
someone was there, they could give you a leg up or something, like you did in the first
Wow.
encounter where you were trying to
Okay.
jump over things. Anyway, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna keep zapping away. Ka-chang. So if I don't move, I can do it twice. Is that right?
You can attack twice.
Yeah.
Moving is a
Yeah.
Is
The idea
an
is
action,
8,
right?
though, to do it. So
Right. So
and it's a free move to move closer. You just might get stomped if you get a bit closer. It's up to you.
so what's the thing here is
That's
lower.
That's 7. Yeah, because you get a bit closer.
Right. I getcha. All right then. Well, I'm gonna follow my companion.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna move here.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna try and climb.
Yep.
Acrobatics. Sorry.
4. Yep.
Hey,
oh,
no.
that's not
Oh,
good.
no.
Double.
double.
Do you
I have no
more
stamina.
Oh, you rolled all your stamina. Okay,
That's
so
it.
now you're exhausted. So you've got no stamina ability. You can only roll 1d10 for any action. Basically.
Just 1d10
Yeah,
ever?
No matter what your stat is.
No
you just-
d12s.
No d12s. You're just stuck on the d12s.
Well, I'm done.
You're exhausted yourself.
Nana's tired.
She's gonna have a nap.
Gonna have a nana nap.
Have a nap on his
And
ball.
you
Yeah,
also
that's right.
didn't
Okay.
make it
I didn't make it.
So,
Yeah.
wait,
Oh, I
wait,
didn't
wait,
make
wait,
it.
wait.
So I moved there.
Oh, you did
and
that,
then I
and then you
moved
tried
there.
to go there,
Yeah.
and you didn't even make it. You just ran out of stamina halfway
Yeah.
through. You're like, oh god, it's too much.
I walked 5 meters closer and was like, all right.
It's its turn. All right, everybody.
I'm
in
doing
this
well.
Square is going to get stomped on.
The one I just moved to.
Yay.
Yay.
These two didn't get their go.
Oh no,
I
that's
keep
good.
forgetting them. You're right.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Okay.
But that's
very
okay.
good.
You can
stomp
us.
on
All right. Well, they both try to attack. Let's roll for it. They need
Come
a.
on.
What did I say? No, that's a 7 or
7.
higher in that square. Ah, 1 hits. Okay,
Yay.
cool. He
Yay.
deals a solid 6 damage with his tiny little rusty short sword.
I reckon
Nice.
that was Elias.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic alliance.
Not
Yeah.
Joffrey.
Yeah.
Nobody
No,
likes-
nobody likes
In fact,
Nobody
they
Joffrey.
both
likes
try
Joffrey.
again, inspired by the attack, and neither of them succeed. Sorry, that's a miss because it's 7 in that square.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. They helped 7.
They helped.
They did.
Yeah,
Seven.
helped a bit.
Did more than I did, so that's that.
I just fell off. Like,
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, you're
Yeah.
getting stomped. Yeah, that was a. Oh no, that's a miss. So 10 and 10 plus 7, so -1. You take. Oh wait, sorry. What's your melee defense? Not.
I'm not in there. Though.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
it's
Who's
on-
there?
Me.
You're there. Okay,
Yeah.
melee
And the
defense.
2 boys.
It is
Yeah.
4.
4. Okay, yeah. So you take 6 damage,
Okay.
and they take 6 damage, and they don't die. They're just injured.
good.
Yeah. All right.
They're carrying the party through this.
Who's this, Daisy?
Me.
Yeah, its other attack reaches up and tries to scrape against you with its big giant claws. Whoa, your melee defense is 4, so 2 major successes. You take 12
I
damage.
am.
You
That's
wounded?
it. That's yeah. I'm
Okay,
wounded.
so wounds. Now, basically, you put your toughness back up to 17,
Yeah.
so you restore all your toughness, but you take a wound, which is a temporary -1 to one of your
Okay.
stats. And it's going to roll randomly, so 2 to 3. Sorry, I'm using a d12, but
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So fortitude. All right, so it's a injury to your sort of torso or body, and so you're finding it hard to breathe. You've cracked a rib of some sort, and now it's much.
Yeah.
So basically, -1. You need to adjust all of your stats as well.
Is that permanent?
It's temporary. You
Okay.
can heal
Should
it
I
off.
just do
but-
it like here?
Yeah.
-1.
That's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
particularly powerful divine magic,
3.
certain items and spells will be able to heal you.
Yeah.
But at least just for the time being, it's going to take. You can't just use regular cure minor wounds kind of magic to heal that kind of wound.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. That was its turn. We're back to the
Cool.
beginning. Milo, go.
Okay, so if I was able to get closer, then I need a lower dice roll in order to do damage.
That's right, yeah. So the
Okay.
closer you get, the more risk you take, but at the same time, you're going to deal more damage because you find more vulnerable spots higher up, whereas eyes and ears are, yeah.
I think I'm just going to try to move closer and then closer. 2 moves.
Yep, cool. So
then-
1 is free, just to move closer, and then to get within his reach, you need to use acrobatics.
So the spots are like this.
Yeah, but first you
right?
have to get
go
to
one
his...
of these
Yeah.
two.
But is that how it's not like this? It's not.
No.
No.
No, it's just like a path. Like you go
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
then
and then you
there,
climb
then
up, and
there,
then you climb
then
up,
there.
and then you
Yeah.
climb up.
Oh, so I didn't even see that one.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, yeah.
So that one,
Yep.
or
That
this
one.
one takes longer to get to the
Yeah.
top.
That's the same amount. Yeah.
Oh,
three
these two
turns
will
each
be
time.
this-
Right? That's the top,
They're
right?
like, yeah, that
Yeah.
one's the top.
This one. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
2,
3. And then that's the most vulnerable position. Yeah, so it's
Okay,
the
cool.
same. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now acrobatics. I get a roll.
So roll, yeah.
2. Come on.
Need a 4.
Yay!
Two successes. What color are you? You're white.
White.
All right, you are now... Oh, which one did you... Which, left or right? Yeah, there you go. All right, so you're now
You're with
standing
me.
toe-to-toe with the gigantic
Yeah,
titan.
cool.
So I'm going to try and climb up a little bit higher because now I've got a buddy to give me a leg up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So if you fail, you can assist her.
Okay, cool.
Acrobatically.
You needed a 5, right? So 1 major and 1 minor.
One
Yeah,
major, one-
Yep, that's good enough. It's,
Yeah.
You just needed a positive result. So you
Yeah. move up.
Beautiful.
Cool. All right, you are
Yay.
now dangling off his elbow.
Stunning.
What do you have to roll to get up to that?
Yeah.
So that'll be
That's a
5
jump.
and then 6.
This is a jump.
Yeah, that's a jump.
That's
yeah.
a jump.
Are you going to jump or are you going to attack him where
I'm
you are?
totally going to jump because I can do
Oh yeah,
this.
that's right. That's your.
3 ones.
Shush.
I think that's a 0 because you got a 2. Oh no, that's a miss.
What's that?
Yeah, no, you actually make it. 'Cause that's a
No
minor.
way.
Yeah,
What number's that?
so
Sorry,
that's a 1. So you lose
Oh,
the stamina.
Yeah.
But you got a major and then you got a minor.
Minor.
don't you? So still
Still
positive.
6.
Yeah,
which
still
is
3,
yay.
plus 3.
Okay.
Cool. All right, you are now perched
I
neatly on his
thought that was
shoulder.
a 7. I was like,
No,
where's-
it's a weird dice. I
Where's
know.
7?
Nice one.
Anyway, cool.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, getting up.
No, that is 7.
Looks like a 1.
That's 1.
All right, I believe you.
Hey!
Who else has got eyes?
You can have your stamina back.
That's where it landed.
Who's got who here has eyes?
The monster.
That's a 7, yeah.
Okay, I believe
Yeah.
you. Yep.
So I don't get the damage.
Yeah, you keep your stamina. I think.
The one's kind of just a little.
I'll stop
Nub.
using that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Use this
use
one. It's
that one.
equally awful to read.
Okay.
By the way, these are not the dice you get free. In the-
Yeah, these are lovely dice.
These are just cheapo dice. Yeah.
Alright. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Cool, let's try and.
Our dice are
where
better.
am I?
Yeah.
I need to climb,
Legible,
right?
even.
Between the 7 and
I'm gonna try and climb. I just lost one of my fortitude dice, which is great.
That's not good.
No!
That's
That's a miss.
We can read that, so
Fall
good.
right down. Yeah.
And I lose
You lose a stamina, right?
stamina. I'll just try and stab it with my sword,
Instagram.
which is melee, which is strength.
That's good. Two
Nice.
successes.
Excellent. So, that's
I'm winning.
I'm the highest.
I'm the highest.
I'm the
That's
highest
all
on the monster.
so 8
Till he turns around and
Correct.
shakes.
plus.
What'd you get? 2 major
successes,
successes,
so-
right? So 8 plus 9.
8 plus 9.
Yeah,
Cool.
which is
so
sorry.
17.
nice. 17.
17 again. All right, good.
Nice.
All right, you deal quite a significant blow. His arm is now cut completely open. You can see within the glow of the red from within the core. The light shines out and casts everything in a fiery red-orange color. It's just that's right, Mother
Mother Maud.
Mother
Yeah.
Maud.
That's right, Sister Maud. Alright, so I can only ever roll 1 now.
Yes,
is
'cause
great.
You are exhausted.
Yep,
From walking.
from walking.
You are
Yeah.
walking.
2
God.
meters.
Every time.
Got to stamp stuff.
Uh,
Where's the bathroom?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try. Actually, I might do my entropy discharge
Oh, okay, yeah.
because I need to get rid of them. So I'm gonna have a go. 5.
Can
I use it? Can I with the focus? I can't use the D12 while I'm
No,
exhausted.
you should be using D12.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, yeah.
Can I have a legible D12? Beautiful.
It was. All right. I think that's
How do
not
I
bad.
lose more stamina? Than
No,
I...
you don't lose more stamina, but I
Okay.
think that the entropic discharge doesn't it hurt you if you fail?
If the result is negative, the caster takes damage equal to the result times the stuff spent. Okay.
So how much entropy
you're
are we discharging?
standing
One
there
at least.
One.
Shooting yourself. With light
So I take
again.
4 damage.
Yeah, so you lightning bounces back into you.
Old lady's gonna die.
Told you I should have left her hanging at the beginning.
Yeah. Should just killed her at the beginning.
Yeah, just dead weight, really.
Alright, come on then.
You've lived a
these
good
two
life,
guys.
right?
I've had
They do
a
go.
You've had a good run.
I've had a good run.
What do they roll? 1, and they might succeed. They do not. They both
Oh.
bounce off the nail
Useless.
chitinous plate.
Running.
Useless.
That's sad.
Not very good. They're just militia people. They have rusty short swords and they just go thump and they bounce.
Hey, look,
Okay.
look,
Yeah.
look.
They're doing
Alright?
better
They're
than you.
doing better than me.
All right. It takes damage at the end of its turn. So what are we up to? Did you cast fire again? No, you
No.
didn't. So
No.
it takes 2 damage this time. Fire is spreading. That's good. All right.
It's still getting
Yeah,
more
So
Turn
it's
again.
it's gonna kill
Oh, no,
stuff.
it's its turn.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's-
it's got to do stuff. Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, monster. Would you like to go, monster? Would you like to have a
It's
crack?
your turn. Have a swing.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the tank of the party and just cop the full force of the brunt while you guys can.
Well, you're not doing
run-
any damage.
No,
You might
exactly.
as
So I might as well
do something.
I'm just an old lady.
Bring it on.
All right.
What are you
All
gonna do to
on,
me?
Do your
right. It picks up
worst.
its right hand and tries to swat Naomi off its shoulder.
Does it?
What's your melee defense? 5? That's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
5.
where?
Melee defense,
defense
yeah.
5.
5. Okay, so only 1 major success and 0 minus, so you only take 3 damage.
Yes, which is stamina.
No, which
Toughness.
is toughness.
Toughness.
Yep.
So 3,
Yep.
8.
Yep.
I still have 11.
Good job. Cool. And then with its bite, it reaches down to try and bite.
Christ.
Yes.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Oh, how can we
What's
lose?
your
We've got
melee
Christ on
defense?
our side.
He tried to sing at it
5.
earlier.
Oh,
Fine.
okay.
Okay, also
It did not work.
So
Yeah.
misses, miss.
But the holy fire was very
And-
effective.
Yeah,
Okay.
holy
Yeah.
fire. Much better than singing.
So you take 2 damage.
Okay, where's the damage level?
Toughness.
Toughness.
Oh, okay, -2.
Beautiful.
All
right.
Forgetting that second.
I know.
New turn.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I didn't do
wanna-
anything.
I come up to join you, so
Okay.
I gotta do 2 acrobatics.
No, so 1 climb to climb up to its shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Do we win?
Is
Oh,
No.
3. I got 3 fingers.
I am not doing well.
Oh, that's a real bad
that's
result.
bad.
Oh, that's bad.
So it's a 2 misses and 1 major. I think that's a 0. So
Oh, okay.
you scramble up to get against, but it's covered in mossy outgrowths and slippery, slimy.
You can try again though, right?
I'm gonna try and shoot it now.
Okay, good thinking.
Change of
Good
time.
idea.
So you need a 6 to hit it
So
from where you
then
are.
I'll get this one, and then where's the
A special one.
special? I want
The legible
you
one?
want
Yeah.
yeah. Come on, special.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So 1 major success and a 0.
Can you talk me through it because I don't know.
But I'm still learning as well.
Okay.
So 1 major and 1 minor.
1
So it's
minor
this
of
one.
the range, so your major's 4,
And
Yep.
minor is 0.
and minor is 0.
And then on the item itself.
is major plus 7, so your
So
major
it's
is 7.
11
Yes.
plus a minor, right?
Yeah, which is
one.
plus 1, so 1.
12.
So 12.
Cool. All right.
12 damage.
The shot flies up, bores another hole, it flies out the back of its body. Doesn't seem deterred by the injury, but it still is starting to sag a little bit under its weight. It's starting to get a little bit tired. You can see it's got a big gash across its shoulder, several holes in its head. Its toes have been thoroughly stabbed by rusty short swords. Your turn, Naomi.
Alright, I'm gonna axe away like old grandma would do. You can sing the grandma song.
Yeah. If your grandma's happy.
So where are you standing? Oh, you're
I'm
way up
there.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you only need a 4 to hit it from there. So
Okay.
So that's a 5 and a 4.
4 and a 3.
okay, so 1 major success and 2 minors.
So I got 6 plus 6.
Yep.
Is that
12.
right? 12.
And plus the minors, don't forget.
Plus
with
1.
the axe, 1. So 13. All right, cool. All right, this axe buries deep inside the back of its shoulder,
Yay.
hard into its shoulder blade, and its whole left arm goes limp, and it starts to.
Yes.
But you're on the arm.
That's okay. It'll be much easier to climb up its arm now.
Limp.
Yeah.
Arm.
All right, cool. Its
feel
arm
sorry
is now
for it.
partially detached from your deadly axe blow as it slices through it.
Great.
Nice one.
I now have a Scottish.
Do you get to go again?
Oh, did you not do
Yeah.
something? Yeah, you can
No,
do
I
everything.
can do 2 things.
Can you climb up
Climb on
You can
more?
try and
Head.
get in closer. Just balance.
try and get
across.
on its head?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that one? Is that
So
a...
that's balance. So that is vigilance. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I can try. Got 2. I got 2 viggies.
Do it.
2 vidges.
Could I tell a story about my vigilance?
Oh, you've got it. If you've got a thing, yeah. Tell me about why you're good at balancing.
So I'm really good at balancing because I grew up on the lumberjack farm.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
As you know.
As you do.
As you remember,
As
nothing
grandmas
else
remember.
Grandma's tree
Nothing
farm.
else ever happened, but I was also really good at climbing the trees.
Yep.
And as Grandma would chop them down, I'd
You'd
run
run across
across
the-
to the next one, and I'd like.
Oh, what
push-
happy
I-
memories.
Yeah, what happy memories, right? Yeah, so I got really good at balancing, even though I'm a big, stocky person. Very good.
Very
My big,
nimble,
stocky
yeah.
arms allow me to stay
Swinging
balanced.
from tree to tree.
More like Tarzan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I'd sing.
Sing. Alright. So what's that tree story?
Tree balancing.
Yeah, fair enough. Balancing on the branches.
Balance.
You know what it is?
Helping
You know how
grandma.
sometimes they have to chop off big boughs off trees and they have to like chop them while standing on
Yeah,
the thing?
yeah.
And you're like, oh god, better not fall.
But you also can push it to fall
Yeah.
the way you want it.
And you know what
to
else, Lumberjack? Have you ever seen them rolling like the logs
Down the
and
rivers,
they, like,
yeah. Run on
That's
them.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
See,
pretty
good
cool.
times with
Look,
grandma.
Lumberjacky, you learn everything. Balancing, climbing, nana-murdering. Just all those life skills.
Every
So does that
situation.
mean I can
Yeah,
switch
you can
one
now
out
use a
for
D12.
that?
Yep, that's correct.
So where are you? Balance. Yeah, I had one.
Mhm.
Okay, let's.
Oh, great.
Hey!
That's a super success. Right.
The
where
best
are
you can get, the opposite of me.
You're still there, so
Yeah.
both are super successes.
Major
and-
is 4 and 4, so 8.
So you climb up onto its head.
Oh, you're just climbing.
He's
Oh,
just
you're
climbing.
attacking it. So
No.
I
Yeah.
was like, that'd be an amazing attack.
I know.
if you-
I should have saved that for an attack.
Well, you very
Easily just
Very, very
waltzed
good.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, now your turn. Now Daisy.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and keep climbing. One more go.
Yep.
But I'm also
You
very
only have one
vulnerable
dice
up
to do
there.
it.
Yeah, because she's
Oh,
moving.
Minus
right.
one.
Well, you failed.
That's a
Well, I failed. Alright, I'll
You
give
can
it.
try again.
Yeah, that's
I'll go
I do have a pistol, which I haven't used.
Hey!
All right. After a bit of a false start, Daisy manages to get her footing and climbs up to the
Nice.
Titan's
I don't
elbow,
really
right
know.
elbow.
Yes, that's better.
Next one is jump.
Yeah.
I could
Nice.
just go.
Well, look at me go.
Exhausted.
Exhausted, elderly, falling apart. I'm gonna do another blast. Please. Can I have a D12?
You're gonna try and.
I'm gonna Prima Arcanus.
Oh, good choice,
It.
Arcanus.
11!
Legs
Yay!
11.
Legs 11. So I get 4 plus 6, 10 damage, please.
10 damage, alright. Finally, the arcs of lightning find their target. They shoot onto the creature's woody, rocky body and burn tracks up its arm. They're covered in... Its outside of its body is covered in thick ash and soot layers where the lightning has sort of...
Take that,
Wow.
young whippersnapper.
It'll teach you. You get another action.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You can move closer, make my life easier.
Your life easier.
No, not my life, it might make your life easier.
I know, but I fail at
Every
things.
time he tries to move
Yeah.
closer, he
Rolling.
dies.
Because the first one is acrobatics, right? Alright, well, let's just,
Nope.
Needed 4. Oh wait, hang on. It's this arm, right? This is the arm that's all
Yes,
limp. So
yeah.
yeah, you can succeed. Yeah.
Oh,
Because I
excellent.
chopped it
The
off.
arm is basically useless now. It's sitting there dangling by a few big vines and roots.
Fantastic.
There's no
Nice.
real movement,
All right,
so
we're getting there, guys.
getting closer.
Let's
So
do
now
it.
we need to do like a
All right,
5.
let's get
Get
Joffrey.
Oh yeah,
Elias.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Come on, you can do it.
Oh,
That's great too.
Yeah.
Yay! Carrying the team.
So,
God.
aren't you glad I persuaded them?
Yeah.
To join us?
They're
Yeah.
doing
Didn't kill them
far more than
instead.
me.
Yeah.
I'm still up for killing everyone.
Right, they stab enthusiastically with their short swords.
So
and,
enthusiastic.
Bits of bark and leaves and dry moss and everything flake off the outside of its body.
Nice.
You can see that inside it's all just roots and vines all the way down.
Wow.
It takes 4 damage from being on fire, which is going to multiply
Nice.
to 8 next turn. It starts to become significant.
It's good, yeah.
And
You should
now
do
it's
more
your turn.
fire.
Oh, it's not your turn. It's the friggin' monster's turn.
You always forget the
I
monster's
I'm like,
turn.
we're all having so much fun. Alright,
But I forgot I have to kill you.
Alright, it reaches down and tries... It can't really get to you, can it? It tries to bite at... Oh, it tries to bite... It's, yeah, you. Sorry,
Yeah.
Daisy.
Sounds fair.
That's a pretty good roll.
Oh,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a double.
Double.
Double 10 is actually a miss.
Ew.
What's your melee defense? Is 4. So you take 6 damage.
Okay, very good.
And its left arm is broken, so it can't do much else. That's not too funny.
Okay, cool. Is it if you do stuff like weird, like you try to heal it, will it then become a nice monster? And it sort of thinks it might sort of say, "Oh, this person, they're actually not my enemy."
You don't know much about Titans, right?
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they're really mysterious, big monsters. And they only in the last couple of generations have they started to appear. They sometimes come out of nowhere. They come from wild nature's area. Sometimes they come out of the ocean and everything, and no one really knows what motivates them or what sort of is the tie. They could be
I
animals.
reckon that one would.
Oh, okay, that one would.
He looks like a nice one.
He looks like a nice
Yeah,
one.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah,
But this
he looks
guy,
like
no.
no. But
Because-
I mean, look at that
I'm really
face.
sorry
I
that
mean,
its arm is
give it a-
getting cut off.
Mm.
I just wanted to sort of say, okay, enough is enough, and run away or something.
So, some of them are clearly animal-like. They might run away when injured, or this one doesn't seem to show any signs of slowing down. But also, they've been observed to do sort of somewhat intelligent behavior. Sometimes
wow.
the emperor, the Marquis, has sent the army to try and attack them, and they've moved to try and evade them.
Yeah.
Some of the larger, older ones seem to have quite sort of natural intelligence where they instinctively avoid danger. People have fired cannons at them. They know they can't take that, so they run away.
Yeah.
They're sort of mysteriously, their
I feel
level
really
of
sorry
intelligence is
for
very
it.
unusual.
I don't want to keep on.
This guy
attacking
just seems wild and ferocious. It's like he's just all of the primal energy in the area has been summoned to
Christ is feeling really sad for
Maybe
them.
it doesn't. So he's not.
It's just
very,
misunderstood.
It's not very intelligent. You don't think it's gonna.
Well,
It's
I mean,
gonna run away.
You've also noticed that its entire body seems to be comprised of like debris and plant matter and everything like that.
So it's more like animated,
Okay.
So it might not even
Yeah.
be real.
organic material
Okay.
kind of
It
thing.
Yeah.
might not have a brain.
I don't
It's
think
not
it
like
has a
it's not like it
soul.
has like a desire to
Okay.
No,
find
no.
its
Be
love
friends.
and
Yeah.
It's sort of
yeah.
like a force
Settle
of
down.
nature.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a big elemental creature. It doesn't necessarily have feelings, but you don't know that. It's also just...
Yes.
Okay.
I should
Anyway,
have
it's
said
your
that.
turn.
Maybe what I'm gonna try and
I don't
do
have a friend
is
type.
first I'm gonna try and dress myself in leaves, so I look like it's. So I kind of look like it maybe, and then is it an action? I don't know. No. And I want to do something nice.
If you feel nice, you can put out its fire. Remember, any creature can put out the fire for one action.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm all the way up here.
No, it's not. I don't like having its arms nearly cut off.
You're just like patting out
Imagine
the
if
fire.
your arm
There,
was
there,
really cut
there,
off.
there.
Well, couldn't he use? Is there something that he could use, like empathy or something, to kind of show it that he feels if he wanted to
Yeah,
be
you can
non-combative?
try and use
Yeah.
your social skill to...
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, what are you
Let's-
doing?
Empathy?
Yeah, I want to show it my love. And so maybe that's empathy, yeah.
Okay, so...
Sorry, I
Oh,
set you
get
on
one
fire.
dice.
Yeah, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
that's stupid. Okay, come
I've already
on.
tried singing at it and it was
Yeah,
not the same
Yeah.
result.
this is just the stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't maybe.
Go to sleep, big fella.
Yeah.
Once the sun's are set.
Come on.
Yeah.
Take a
Yeah.
chance. Everyone else
Go
wants
to
to kill
sleep.
you. And I want to just like save you. Come on, I can save you.
Hey!
So that's a negative. What is it? -1. -1. It's slightly more angry at your.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sad. Okay, now I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah! Look, you tried. You
It
tried.
does not work.
And hey, yeah.
Okay, so shooting is this one ranged with this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
I know.
Look, you tried. That's all that matters, you
10 and
know.
a 2.
Oh, that's good.
better,
Then.
yeah.
All right, one major success, right?
Okay. So then this range, so then major is 4, minor is 0, so then it's a 4, plus 7, plus 1 is
12.
12.
12. All right, 12 damage. The bullet flies up, shoots through it. A shower of leaves and bark comes off where you've.
That one's it.
That's me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And yep, it's enraged. It's furious now.
Sorry.
Can I throw my axe at him?
Stop messing around, guys.
I'm going to axe away in the middle of his head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do
Nice.
it.
Way.
I know that's a 1.
Oh, you only need a 3, so both of those are major
Okay,
successes.
so
and
2
one minor.
majors, so 12.
12 plus.
Plus
This could be
6. Quick maths, 18.
18.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's a minus.
That's a miss.
minus.
Yeah, minus is
Minus 3
3.
minus. Have you already done
6.
that? 26. So
Oh,
12.
so
It's another 12.
12, yeah.
12. You bring the axe down, bury it deep into its back of its head, and its whole head suddenly starts to snap forward,
Oh,
and the head rolls off, and suddenly the rest of its body begins to kind of disintegrate and fall apart as bits of vines start to let go, and the bark starts to disintegrate, and the whole creature starts to melt down into a big empty pile of refuse. You gracefully slide down its tail and
Nice.
land on the ground.
Yeah.
You're not too far off the ground. You let go and land on your feet, and suddenly there's a big pile of empty, dry debris in front of you. In
Good
the
job.
center of it, a gigantic crystal sits, a big red crystal.
whoa.
Oh.
Mine.
did it.
I won. I did it. All of you.
I will claim it for the church.
No, you won't.
Well done, young kick-ass. You've done a great job for the light. You've proven your worth. Now it's time for us to do our job. Start walking over, and then I go, "Oh God, my heart!" Don't quite make it.
All right, that is it,
Amazing.
everybody.
So what
Thank
happens?
you very
We
much.
get the redstone.
You
and
succeeded. You're
Yeah.
now rich beyond
got
your
it.
wildest dreams.
Oh, really?
The church can study
Oh,
it.
cool.
Ooh.
Do I
Nice.
really have to share it with these
I
guys?
don't know. You can find
Yeah,
out.
and then
Yeah.
Kick-ass just
Right
kills
over it.
everyone.
I kill everyone because
wanna-
I'm really like deceptive
I
and
want to share it with Elias and Joffrey.
Oh yeah, they get their
They
share.
get a share.
Definitely killing them first.
Yeah, divide it. How many? 6 ways.
6
not
ways.
4 ways.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
That was Flashback, quick
Yeah.
demo game, really short. I'm glad you got to fight a big titan and kill it. Yeah, so we are doing our Kickstarter right now. You can go to www.flashbackrpg.com. Please support us. Like I said, we're all indie designers. This is just the minimum we've come up with.
Hey, we got 20 backers now.
And that's amazing.
All right.
Good job.
20%.
20%.
Woo!
So
30
if,
days.
if you do it through the Kickstarter, you get the poster, but after the Kickstarter, you don't get the poster.
Well, so I'm giving away posters in store. There are that's basically an extra if you come into Good Games Bondi Junction, where we all are, graciously hosted by Milo.
Milo!
Yeah, we are giving away the posters for any pledge level. Otherwise, they're available on, I think, the premium package and also one of the other ones. I've forgotten already. It's been so much work. So yes, we are printing out these Titan posters. They're awesome for even if you don't want to use them in the Flashback game. They're good for other games. The basic premise is you can climb up the monster and fight it, so you can use them in any game you want to run. At the same time, we'll have a book full of them. as many as we can afford. This is the kind of notion of Kickstarter, is that if we can get triple our goal, we'll get triple times the number of titans in the book, 10, three times the monsters, 3 times the locations and the items, everything, plus a whole bunch of lore and of course all the rules. Like I said, the items are all on cards that you can print out and use as many times as you want. It makes life easier not having all of that complexity in front of you. And yeah, it's just a game that we're all really passionate about. There's a lot of early bird bonus rewards up right now for the next, I think, 48 hours or 24 hours. We have some special deals on where you can get additional rewards for no extra charge, just free stuff.
Free stuff?
Free stuff.
That's a good price.
Free stuff.
What sort of free stuff?
Yeah, we're having exclusive special versions of our flashback dice that will be made and put together.
Better than these ones.
Better than the unreadable.
Legible
You
dice!
can tell the
This one's
1
like
and the 7 are
transparent. You can't even read the numbers on it. Anyway, I will make much better dice. See, this is how I know.
I know these
Yes.
things.
So
Awesome.
well, thank you very much for watching us. Hopefully, by the way, we'll be here at Good Games the rest of the day. You can come around, ask us questions. We have free cake.
Free
and
cake.
We'll run
Thank
more
you,
games
Angela.
for you.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, that's right. Thank you,
Thank you,
Angela.
Angela.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Alex.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Yay.
Remember,